Controversy is trailing the candidacy of former President Goodluck Jonathan in the countdown to the 2023 elections. After serving the country in the highest political office for about 5 years, he has again been thrown into the race again by a Fulani Group. Now, the group went ahead to purchase the 100 million naira All Progressives Congress presidential expression of interest and nomination forms, but this was rejected vehemently by the former president, who considered this move without his consent an insult. The former president's media advisor, Ikechukwu Eze, who expressed appreciation over the request, noted that Mr. Goodluck Jonathan is not in any way committed to taking such tasks and is yet to decide whether to seek re-election on the platform of Nigeria's current ruling party, APC. Let's talk this through by speaking with a political analyst who is joining me in the studio, Ziggy Ibe. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you.
Right. And also via Zoom is public affairs analyst Tuyi Mebawadu. Good to see you. Yeah, Tuyi Mebawadu, let me start with you via Zoom. The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, is in the news for not other reason than political reasons. Is that to say, or talk to us about the latest stories about him, that he has purchased the nomination form and expression of interest and nomination form of the APC to run for president. What do you make of this? What has been your reading over this?
To unleash this kind of thing on the citizens, this kind of chaos going on politically. Now, let us remember, we saw Jonathan when he was leaving government. We saw Jonathan when he was leaving government. Rising corruption, rising unemployment, insecurity, and all the negative things that can happen in governance was really rife during Jonathan's regime. In fact, that was the beginning of all what we're seeing now. It got to a point that at election, he lost, whether anybody liked it or not. And after losing the election, he said that nobody's ambition is worth the blood of a single Nigeria. And that was the turning point. That was the strategic reinvention of Jonathan. And then he kept quiet and said that, listen, I'm not going to go into politics again. And then he now assumed the status of statesman, being appointed into different election monitoring in Liberia, South Africa. He treated by Ethiopia election. He got recognition, did some in Chad, and all that stuff. And that was good enough. We thought that would be the turning point of saying that, listen, I'm done with politics. Let me serve Nigeria in other platform. He was a lecturer. He had a PhD, and he can actually get involved in some other things. Then what is happening is that we're seeing a murky political system, really distorted and disturbed, a chaos going on. Why should Jonathan, who considered election defeat in 2015, now come back and be saying that he wants to run for election? The process is also very murky. Initially, he denied all these things vehemently. He said he's not interested in politics. Now he went on and then joined APC behind bar and then got formed from some crony. What has gone wrong with us? I don't think that person of that level of education and intellectualism should then be seen, getting involved in chaos, worsening the political situation, and causing confusion everywhere. In reality, what exactly is he coming back to do? There are so many, I can show more than 100 million Nigerians that can actually step up, and where he can provide advices. What is going on in Nigeria is actually a desecration of political system, with all this kind of candidates coming out and breaking laws recklessly. Even as you see now, the coming of Jonathan is going to even break the APC law itself. And I don't know about constitution, but the APC law itself is going to be broken. So why can't we be part of order and system? What is going on? Why should the past president be part of this kind of confusion? I don't just understand. But like I said, in chaos, everything is normal. We are in chaos situation.
Well, let me bring it to the studio. Looking at the fact that the call was even made by some nomads and Almajirai, is that to say, or from the north actually, it shows there is never a smoke without fire?
This is laughable anyway. for him to have said he wasn't aware. Okay, we are not talking about using 10 naira to buy a form. We are talking about 100 million naira contributed on your behalf of having a form for you. You must have been consulted. Okay, that must have been made known to you. If that is not coming from you,
yeah.
Okay, because the Almajiris, are they working? Are they employed? Are they gainfully employed? Well, I will leave that in that realm. But the issue remains that for a form of 100 million naira to be purchased on behalf of someone as a gift to someone, and at this point you are telling us you weren't aware or you didn't give a consent, well, I leave him to that. But then, Jonathan has been there for like 8 years. He had 2 years with his boss, late Yaradua, and he completed that term of 4 years. So, on his own platform, on his own strength as the boss, president of the country, with Namadi Sambo, he had 4 years. That's on his own personal strength. He has had 6 good years in that rock. Altogether, he has about 8 years. Okay, and one would think, what is it that he has not been able to do that is mooting the idea of doing now? What has he forgotten in that rock that is thinking of going back? Well, it's better, as he said, he wasn't aware. But our worry is, most times when they tell you they are not aware, at the long run, short run, it becomes reality. It becomes reality, and through the back door, you see them coming out again. Yeah. That Amechi told us, Dimi Preserva, PYO, many of them had said they were not interested. At a point, they were calling names of their supporters. We heard when it was said they are paid speculators and all that. Eventually, it becomes real. Okay, so at this point, if you say he wasn't aware and that those who purchased form on his behalf and all that, we live into that, but we are watching. But my is, Jonathan has no reason to assent any call now into the Asorok because he had exceeded his relevance.
No,
there.
It's actually contentious. You know, he was a vice president. He wasn't the president at that time.
He was a president for 2 good years when his boss left. He was a president for 2 good years. Yeah. Okay, that was when Namadi Sambo came on board. Then 4 years he was a president too. That making it 6 good years. Yes, the first one wasn't legal, or you might say it. Okay, but the 4 years was very legal. So I'm speaking from a moral ground where he has done or he has had his own opportunity to rule the country or proffer a lasting solution to to some myriad of problems we're having. During this time, we have a plethora of issues and problems. What has he done then? Okay, the generation to come will judge him for that. But we are saying, for you to have attained that level of height of profession in your life, because in every given country, presidency or being a president is the highest office.
It's the highest tough job.
Yes, it's the highest office any human being can attain. Okay, and you've attained it. What else do you want to get being there? You know, so it looks childish for anyone to, after having graduated in university, I want to go back to primary 6. That's the way I look at it. Okay, so it is having attained a peak of your career, then you want to be demoted, because it's demotion. Accepting that call now to be president, if eventually he becomes a flying candidate for APC, it's a demotion to him.
Yeah, you mentioned a flying candidate for APC, but then let me go to Dr. Tui on Zoom. The last time I checked, or we checked, the former president Goodluck Jonathan, is an APC member, was an PDP member, and then but there are speculations that he might have defected to the APC. And bearing in mind that there is no way a party will sell you their forms without you being a member first. So what do you make of all of these confusions?
In fact, you see, I will repeat, it is chaos. And in chaos, everything is normal. And that's what we are seeing in Nigeria. But let's be reassured that from chaos will come order. We cannot, finally, we'll be wise. What is happening is that, listen, let's even look at the political pedigree of Jonathan as it was. He's a South Southerner, and tell me what, how many APC people governors are in the South as it is now? Most of them probably defected to get there. Okay. Secondly, after he left presidency, what has been his ascendancy in terms of politics, even his own local area? Thirdly, what a policy initiative has Jonathan driven after sitting in presidency and political space for deputy governor, vice president, that he now says that, listen, I have to come back, and the only thing I can do to Nigeria is to come and join politics. We have made the country such a ridicule that, you see, everybody just wants to become president, and they have nothing to offer. Because why? The most rewarding profession, in a way, criminal profession in Nigeria now is political space. Why would Jonathan? I'm just at loss. What has gone wrong with our deep thinking in this country? And that's why we continue to have this problem. First of all, you are not a member of APC. We've not seen you being active with APC. But anyway, APC and PDP, there's no difference. Anyway, let's leave at that. But I think there is a partition in terms of name and terms of fake policies that they are pushing. Now, you are never a member of APC. From day zero, suddenly you resurface and say that now you are APC president through the back door. And then you are now claiming that some people whom, you think you believe they were working against you are now that promoting you. What interest? How do you now explain the Almajiris getting money or the capital getting 100 million to come and dash Jonathan after, they claim he has been against them? We can relate to all these things. But I am just, amused and really embarrassed by the going on the political space. Jonathan is the least person I think will contribute to those kind of insanity going on. But having said that, Jonathan has never been, to the best of our knowledge, except you have a different book, we have never seen Jonathan with APC until a few days ago when he now surfaced with APC nomination card. Of course, that means there's a dark force. There's a really dark and dangerous force underground in Nigeria, working to cause more destabilization, working to cause more confusion. And the Senate people should be wise enough to look and move away from such. At least, if you cannot continue to help the situation, don't add to the worsening of that situation. And this political space, the presidential thing going on, is a clear-cut signal of people's desperation, people's wickedness, and a lot of wicked forces, chaotic forces, the force of entropy, intent on destroying the viability of the country. It's not going to be business as usual, even if all of them choose to drop down, they leave the politics. Because what we have seen is that we've seen different violent groups endorsing people. Some from the South saying that they're endorsing some people. Some in the Northeast, violent group is not saying they're endorsing people. Violent group in Southwest saying they're endorsing some people. And then how would that translate in political space? So for you to become president now, you have to get an endorsement of a violent group who say that this is the candidate we want. And then if the candidate does not win, then now the violence that there continues. And you cannot separate all this from ongoing unknown government saga, escalation of banditry, kidnapping, train hijacking going on everywhere in the country. Because there are groups behind them pushing for the distortion and problems within the country. And what will Jonathan really do, honestly? Let's even engage him in a debate. What are you going to do differently? Why don't you just set up an institute, Jonathan Peace Institute, Jonathan Political Governance Institute? Look at the way that you can make the country, embrace the youth, how to train youth and develop the next generation of leaders. Or political leaders, that is the kind of thing we should be looking at from a statesman like him. We saw Al Gore in America after losing presidency in a funny circumstances, went back to university, went back and even won Nobel Prize on peace or for his work on climate change. Why are we not seeing leaders that are taking a dance right? Must you all be president? Must you be president? Right.
Well, Ziggy, the former president met with the APC chairman, Abdullah Adamu, this behind closed doors for 1 hour. God knows what kind of conversation they had. But it's a parody of putting the former president in the room with meats, very nice aroma. I should not eat this meat, but this meat is beckoning me, at me that I should eat it.
I wondered too what both discussed. But looking at it, GEJ is among the few Nigerians who has God's favor. In fact, he is a product of God's mercy. Okay? Yes, the guy is so lucky because he rose through political ladder to where he is now. And if you check the circumstances that got him to where he was, is very few that can attain
especially
that.
from his humble background.
Yes, from
the
from
kind
his
of
humble background. Yes.
Recognition.
So like he said, what we or a rational person should think about a man in that category now is to help the younger ones grow to such a peak level. Okay? Because if at this point he should be thinking about going back to presidency, because it's a demotion. I keep saying it because
he should be thinking about it. Is that what you said?
No. I say if at this point he should be thinking, he shouldn't be thinking about it at all. He shouldn't even, that idea should not cross his mind in any way, because it's an insult in the first place. Okay, very big insult for anybody to have called you or cajole you into believing that you are still needed. At the point where you rule the country, from which trajectory have you put us to that give you that belief that you are going to do better than what you did before? Okay, but we are talking about somebody who had been there before. So at this point, you should look at something that would elevate you more from the position you were before, which I think none at this point. He is, as we speak, is an ambassador to so many countries. Yes. Okay, a peace ambassador and all that. That is the job I think he should involve himself in, than thinking of. In fact, if anybody should call him, like he said, he has not taken that decision. I mean, it doesn't sound well to me. It doesn't sound rational to me. What are you thinking? What is hard? You coming out in the open and tell Nigerians that, look, I'm not interested. You should be a mentor. At this point, if they are calling you, you are still a mentee, which is a demotion. You understand? Well, if anybody is calling you at this point and say, come and become that means you are still a mentee instead of being a mentor. At this point, what you're supposed to do is to be a father of the nation, just like among other
at least the way they call it, elder statesmen.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to be. Because you are young, your age is still on your side,
but then
God is still happy with you.
But then his protege will argue that everyone has the right to contest to be.
Nobody said it's not his right.
So it's not between morality and what should be.
That's it. So, and why we are here talking is because we are saying that at this point, he shouldn't be thinking, he shouldn't nurse that idea at all. It shouldn't even cross his mind, because he has attained the highest level of his profession, which is very rare for any person of his caliber to attain.
Well, anyway, I wish we have enough time to continue this conversation,
because time has never been enough.
There's a lot of things to talk about, but then we wish the former president good luck, as his name is actually well, I've been speaking with
his name Tracy,
with a political analyst, Ziggy Ibe, in the studio. Thank you very kindly. Really
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And also Vazim has been a public affairs analyst as well. So Thank you so much for your time as well.
Thank you for having me.